Here we go. We are live. Welcome to our webinar, Emotional Intelligence in Dating. Welcome to our live webinar, Emotional Intelligence in Dating. We're expecting a lot of people to be on this webinar here in the next few minutes. We got some people rolling in. I got a couple of screens, so I'm going to look over to the left and see who we got there. We got Jessica from Arizona. We got Angela from Ohio. We got Peter from Mississippi. We got George from Florida. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here we go. Okay, they are piling in. We are just about on time, ready to start. We got a lot of people. Josie from Northern California. Rick from Colorado. Jessica again from New York. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, we got a packed house. I think we got about a few hundred people on this webinar, but I just wanted to thank you, welcome you to Emotional Intelligence in Dating. We're going to get ready to rock and roll here in a few seconds. We got a lot of people that are very excited about this webinar. So in a few seconds, I am going to switch over to another screen. So I'm going to share my screen with you right now. I'm going to do that. Okay, share entire screen, and there it is. Okay, Emotional Intelligence in Dating. My name is Ryan Hoffaker. Just a couple things. I'm going to talk very, very fast, and I'm going to go through these slides very, very fast. We're going to cover a lot of information. I'm getting a lot of great feedback on the content that we are doing in this webinar. So again, prepare yourself. I'm going to talk fast. We're going to go through these slides pretty fast, but I think you're going to enjoy it. The content, I'm getting a lot of great feedback from people like yourself. So welcome again. Here I am. I'm an author. I am a speaker, and I'm an entrepreneur. Wrote a book a few years ago called Oppressing Depression: Natural Pathways to Overcome Depression. As you can see, I wrote the whole program, spent about 9 months putting that sucker together. It was fun, but I realized real quick that I didn't want to work with people who were depressed. But you know, you live and you learn. I'm a speaker. I'm an expert who's taught on the subject of emotional intelligence in over 30 states to over 80 businesses and organizations all over the United States. And to be honest, I really didn't think I was an expert in the field of emotional intelligence until I taught the class somewhere around 40 times, and someone raised their hand and said, so how many times have you taught the class? And I said, I don't know. I think I lost count over 30, 35 times. And they all of their jaws dropped. And they said, so you know this stuff pretty well. I said, well, you know, you teach the class 10 times, 10, 15 times. And basically what you do is you get all the questions that you don't know the answers to. And then you figure out the answers to those questions. And you're able to go back, and it was actually pretty rare that I came across the situation where I was not able to answer a question on the subject of emotional intelligence. I know it pretty well, and it's just, hey, you're out there, you're doing it, and you're trying to learn on the subject and provide people with just amazing information. And so that's what I did. Taught on the subject of emotional intelligence a ton with a big consultant company. That's what I did. Those were 8-hour seminars too. Some people ask, you know, I spent a whole day with organizations, public seminars as well. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm owner, operator, or CEO of a couple different companies. So I like to get companies off the ground, get them rocking and rolling so that, so that I, my family, and everybody around me can be successful. So here I am. I want you to know I invested in the knowledge on the topic of dating, emotional intelligence and dating, or in order to date extremely well. I actually invested in the knowledge myself. The second thing is I networked with people who were in the same process as I was, and I got counsel from experts. I'm 37 years old. It took me a while to figure things out. I wasn't the best at dating, but I've gotten to a point now where you're going to hear a little bit more about my story here in a few minutes, where I'm just seeing a ton of success. So stories of 2 years of my life. I almost got married when I was about 30, 31 years old. I want to say almost got married. I was in a dating relationship, and we'd met each other's families, and we were talking about the future and all that fun stuff. But I want to tell you about these 2 years because I wasted a lot of time. There's a graduate school that I went to, and I was working for an organization next to the graduate school, and there was a woman that I was attracted to, that I was interested in, and I pursued her. I pursued her for over a year, and guess what she kept telling me? No, no, no. I see a couple of you commenting right now. Yep, she told me no. And we were actually friends, and it was very jovial. It was a fun relationship. She was attracted to me, but she actually comes from a Romanian American family, and she said that she wanted to marry a Romanian. And so it was a fall of I think fall of 2008, where we had a coffee date, and she told me no, but thank you for the pursuit. And it was very apparent that she was very attracted to me, but that's what she wanted. So about 4 or 5 months later, I was working for that organization, and they wanted me to go start a branch of this organization about 6 hours away. I was living in Chicago. They wanted me to go start this branch in Columbus, Ohio. And they were giving me, all this money to start this branch. Everything's rocking and rolling. And about 6 months later, she and I go out for lunch again, and the sparks fly, and she tells me, I don't want you to leave. I want to be in a relationship with you. So here I am scratching my head, and I told her that night after we had this conversation, I said to her, hey, you have to understand, I'm moving to Ohio. Like, this is a done deal. Like, I don't have a job here in a couple months. I'm already moving to Ohio. You have to know that before we get into the relationship. So she knew that information. We dated for a few months. And then when I went to Ohio, 4 months into starting this organization in Ohio, she ended the relationship, and I was heartbroken. And I want to tell you about something, a mistake that I made in the relationship, a big, painful mistake, and I was very sad. I'd grown very deep in my relationship with her, and when I lost the relationship, I was really, really hurt. But the mistake that I made is that once we decided to get into the relationship, I let things coast, and I stopped pursuing her. And that's the mistake that I made. I need to own it. I actually blamed her for a while, but I needed to own that. And so this was 2 years of my life, and I made the mistakes the mistakes that I made in my story. I'm going to try to teach you today not to make these same mistakes so that you can be successful in your dating journey. Okay. What we're going to learn in this Power Pack webinar is a very specific, scientifically proven way to absolutely sabotage and destroy a relationship with someone that you deeply care about through these 4 behaviors. And I'm serious, this stuff is nasty. Hey, I'm going to teach on Gottman here in a minute. You may have heard John Gottman and some of the stuff. He was a professor at Harvard. This stuff is nasty. We're going to dive into it. Really not good stuff. We're also going to learn emotional intelligence as a relational dating tool to set to attract the man or woman who will lead you to a life of deep, rich love and fulfillment of a romantic relationship. Here we go. We're also going to learn the 5-phase process that will lead toward a healthy, long-term, life-fulfilling relationship. A very simple technique to attract a woman, a very simple technique to attract a man, and plus we're going to have live Q&A and much more. One thing that you have to know on this webinar is that I cannot cover everything on emotional intelligence in 1 hour. I cannot cover everything in emotional intelligence and dating in 1 hour. It's just not possible. You're not going to be emotionally intelligent in dating after taking this webinar. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to give you a lot of content, but hopefully this is the beginning of a journey for you that's going to set you up for massive success. I want to introduce you to my love right now, my babe. This is Angie. She's just my babe. I love her. This is a picture of she and I on the upper left. It's a picture of she and I up in Patrick's Point, Northern California. And to the right is a waterfall in Northern California as well. We in a 4-week span or 3-week span, we did 5 waterfalls in Northern California. But she's my babe. I love her. And our relationship is so good that she is telling other women that she is the happiest woman that she knows right now. And so we're having a blast. That's her. I'm going to talk a little bit more about her later, but I just wanted to show you a picture of her. Importance of being present. What I want you to do right now is I want you to type in present on the chat mechanism to the right. Just type that in right now. Okay. Bam, bam, bam. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're present. It's important. Type that in. I want you to be present for the next 45 minutes. We are going to dive in, and it's going to be some great material. I want to tell you about Jack and his meltdown and my new knowledge. So right before I started dating Angie, a buddy of mine, Jack, he and I shared an office space together. He became a good friend, but he actually moved to our town to pursue a woman 2 years before. And 6 months after he got here, she broke up with him. So he was heartbroken, but he said to himself, I'm not going to pursue her. I am going to just, if I see her, I see her. Well, Jack got a job down in LA at a media company. And literally 6 days before he was supposed to move down, he runs into her at church. And he had a meltdown, and he comes over and he's like, Ryan, I need to come over to your house. So he came over to my house as well as one of our other good friends. And we're trying to give him advice and, live a life without regrets and just really help my buddy Jack out. Well, one of the ladies there started sharing some information that she learned about dating. And it perked my ears up. And when she said what she said, hit the room. When she said what she said, it hit the room, and all of us were like, wow, okay, this is truth. Like, this is the real deal. This is going to help him out. And Jack went and actually read the book by John Gray and the 5 Phases of Dating. And he comes to me in the office, I think 2 days later, and he says to me, Ryan, after reading that book, I realized I wasted years of my life. And I said, what? He said, yeah, man, I just wasted years of my life. And after reading this book, I screwed up the whole dating process. And so I went back and I read the book, and I read it all in like a couple days. And I had this newfound knowledge and this was the beginning of understanding that I was attracted to Angie. She was in my friend circle, and I wasn't doing anything about it because I was being extra cautious. But I took a step, and that led into a relationship that she and I have now that is so incredibly amazing. And so I'm going to share that information with you, and hopefully you can use it and take it to be successful. So we're going to talk about now is John Gottman's Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Some of you may have heard of him. John Gottman was a professor at Harvard, and he worked with the idea of emotions with regard to relationships. And basically what they had at Harvard is they had this research lab. And in this research lab, they would bring couples into this lab for 1 hour, and they would have a video right on their faces, and the video would be able to diagnose what emotions that they're experiencing. It would go back to the computer, and the computer would say, okay, these are the emotions and behaviors that they're experiencing while in, actually it's called the Love Lab. In the Love Lab, when they spent an hour with the researcher in the room, and so the researcher would take these couples, and that they would try to trigger them actually in the most difficult aspects of the relationship. And so they did this with thousands of different couples. And John Gottman and his research team determined that there were 4 emotional behaviors, that if they found these 4 emotional behaviors with a couple within a 1 hour period, they have research to predict that 95% of the relationships will dissolve within 10 years. 95% of the relationship will dissolve within 10 years. It's really, really, these emotional behaviors are really, really challenging. So I'm going to go through those. And this is a lot of people, when I used to teach on emotional intelligence, I would teach on these and talk about how destructive they were for relationships. And I found out that after I taught on this section, I would meet with people later, and that they would tell me, Ryan, this actually caused me to break up with my with my significant other because of what you taught on this. I realized it was a wake-up call to the relationship that I was involved in. And the four of them are stonewalling, defensiveness, contempt, and criticism. We're going to dive into all of these, and then I'm going to break it up in the middle. So we're going to talk about this. So stonewalling, well, what is the emotional behavior of stonewalling? Stonewalling is withdrawing from a relationship as a way to avoid conflict. Partners may think that they're trying to be neutral, but stonewalling conveys disapproval, icy distance, separation, disconnection, and or smugness. So basically, when you're in a relationship and you have a conflict, basically the other person shuts down and says, well, okay, whatever. I don't want to hear you right now. And they just sit there. But what they think they're doing is they're being neutral because they're angry or they're sad or whatever it is that they're experiencing, and they're disengaging. This is oftentimes a very offensive act because people think that it's being neutral, but actually giving someone the silent treatment is actually very offensive, and it creates disconnection rather than connection. So stonewalling, when you experience this or you see somebody else experiencing the relationship, that is a huge red flag. The other thing is defensiveness. People get defensive. Defensive people see themselves as a victim. They're warding off a perceived attack. This is where you also get into cross-complaining. So, let me give an example. It's okay to share your disappointment. So you can say to a person, say to your loved one, hey, I'm kind of frustrated that the dishes weren't done last night. I asked you to do that earlier in the day. I'm disappointed. I'm a little frustrated, right? Now, if the person says, oh, yeah, well, 2 days before you didn't mow the lawn or blah, blah, blah. That's what we call cross-complaining, and that's a sign of defensiveness. That's actually not acknowledging the person's emotions, right? So when when someone expresses a disappointment or they express a frustration, say, you know what, I'm sorry, babe. Let me try to make it up to you in the next few days by getting the dishes done or doing whatever it is that I need to do. You're addressing the issue, right? You're not getting defensive. You're acknowledging that, yeah, I made a mistake here, and you're addressing the issue. You're not cross-complaining. You're not warding off a perceived attack. You're not fighting back because you're perceiving an attack. Defensiveness, stonewalling, defensiveness, these are just emotional behaviors that you really don't want. And again, huge red flags in a relationship. We got two more that are really nasty. But before that, I want you to share in the chat mechanism your favorite romantic movie quote of these four. So this is these are four different movies. I think that's Pride and Prejudice. You have bewitched me, body and soul, and I love you. I never wish to be parted from you from this day on. And then you have the bottom, I would rather share one lifetime with you than face all the ages of this world alone. I think that's Lord of the Rings. And the upper right is, what is it you want, Mary? What do you want? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. Hey, that's a pretty good idea. I'll give you the moon, Mary. And then the last one is Princess Bride, as you wish. Put down your favorite movie quote, of those four. We have Pride and Prejudice. We have As You Wish. We have Lord of the Rings. You like Lord of the Rings because it's a great movie. And it's a great set of movies. But my favorite is As You Wish, Princess Bride. I grew up with that. I just absolutely love it. So continuing on with John Gottman's Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, number 2. Okay, so what am I going to tell you about the 1 and 2? John Gottman has research to back up that 95% of those that experience all four of these emotional behaviors with a researcher in the Love Lab with at these in this research center at Harvard. John Gottman says that if I see all four of these within 1 hour, 95% statistics that the relationship will dissolve within 10 years. Now, John Gottman says, I don't have research to back this up, but I believe that 1 and 2, if I see 1 and 2, that there's 90% chance that the relationship will dissolve, but I don't have research to back that up. So numbers 1 and 2, these suckers are nasty and they are guaranteed almost to destroy your relationship. Number 2 is contempt, is attacking your person's sense of self with the intention to insult or psychologically abuse him or her. Name calling, judging, labeling an individual. When I used to teach on emotional intelligence, I would actually read the names that people call each other. And it hurt me on the inside. I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that at all. So contempt, judgment, labeling, calling names. It's really not good. And the number one emotional behavior that is absolutely destructive to your relationship is criticism, attacking your partner's personality or character, usually with the intent of making someone right or someone wrong. Now, this one's a little bit more subtle. Name calling, contempt, that's a little bit more obvious. Criticism is not. Let's go back to the illustration. Hey, babe, I'm frustrated that the dishes weren't done last night. I asked you to do them. I'm a little frustrated, right? You're expressing your emotion, right? And you say, I don't want to feel frustrated. I want to feel happy, and that didn't make me happy, right? Now, criticism would be, what's the matter with you? You're no good, can't do the dishes. So now what you're doing is you're accusing the person of the behavior with an identity statement. Why are you so, you can't, you're speaking against the person's personality or character, usually with the intent of making someone right or wrong, rather than sharing your feelings, right? It's completely okay to share your feelings in a healthy relationship. That's actually how you get to intimacy. It's not okay to label the other person. It's not okay to criticize the personality or character of the individual, making someone right or wrong. Criticism, contempt, these two suckers are nasty. But let's go back. All four of these: criticism, contempt, defensiveness, stonewalling. If you experience all four of these consistently in a relationship, I got advice for you. It's a 3-letter word: run, 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 or get serious help. John Gottman says that the 5% of the couples who made it through the 10 years actually got serious help. These 4, nasty. Big red flags. I can't emphasize this enough. Flag, flag, flag. If you don't learn anything else, if you're in a relationship like this, this will destroy you over time. It will beat you up and destroy you. Run from it or get help, right? So I'm going to give you the definition of emotional intelligence. This is Daniel Goleman. He wrote the groundbreaking work in 1992. And this is his definition of emotional intelligence. And you don't have to write this down. You don't have to remember this. This is just what we're going to be unpacking a little bit. It's the capacity for recognizing our own feelings and those of others, for motivating ourselves, and for managing emotions well in ourselves and in our relationships. Don't have to remember it. Here is the emotional intelligence 4 quadrants, right? He breaks it down into 4 different areas: self-awareness, others awareness, or what they call social awareness in the upper right, and in the lower left, you have self-management. And in the lower right, you have other management or relationship management or social management of someone. So people like to say. And then covering all of this is motivating. How do you motivate others, and how do you motivate yourself? So that's the emotional intelligence quad. Don't have to remember this. This is just how we're framing this webinar. The values that come from the quadrants, as you can see on the upper right, you have self-awareness. The value is confidence. In the social awareness, the value is empathy. With self-management, the value is self-control. And with social management, you have the value of influence, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to take these values, and it's a minimum, but there's actually much more values, and we're going to show you how this relates to a dating relationship. Okay, so you got here's a definition of emotional intelligence in dating, and this is found in the Emotional Intelligence Dating Academy. The ability to harness and navigate your emotions to acquire an accurate self and social awareness for romantic appeal, self and social management for romantic sustainability, while successfully moving through the 5 stages of a long-term fulfilling relationship. Okay, and again, don't have to remember it. I'm going to basically break that down for you right here. You have 4 elements of emotional intelligence, right? Plus the 5 stages of the dating of the dating relationship, and then you get emotional intelligence dating. That's how you get it. So here's the equation. The 4 elements of emotional intelligence plus the 5 stages of the dating relationship equals emotional intelligence to dating. Now, write in your chat mechanism which ones which one haven't we covered? We have not. Yeah, some of you already jump into it in the chat mechanism, the 5 stages of dating relationships. We have not covered that yet, which we are going to cover right now. In the Emotional Intelligence Dating Academy, here are the 5 phases of the dating relationship. Attraction, attraction to him, attraction to her. The second phase is uncertainty or exploring a fit. The third phase is commitment. Yep, we're both diving in. What does it mean to be exclusive in a relationship? The fourth layer is intimacy. You see into me, I see into you, and we fully accept each other. This is a beautiful, beautiful place. Some people have called this euphoria. And number 5 is engagement, preparation for a lifetime. How are you going to prepare for a lifetime of intimacy? And I tell you what, friends, for those of you who are not hopeful about relationships, people who are practicing these things are seeing intimacy long term. And it's all about setting up a great foundation. So get ready. We're going to dive in and unpack all 5 of these a little bit. Attraction to him and attraction to her. Now, what I want you to do in the chat mechanism, what I want you to do is I want you to tell me, name this movie, name that movie. Here we go. And I'm going to read to you a quote from the movie. It says this in the movie. Basic principles. No woman wakes up saying, God, I hope I don't get swept off my feet today. Now she might say, this is a really bad time for me, or something like, I just need some space, or my personal favorite, I'm really into my career right now. Do you believe that? Neither does she. You know why? Because she's lying to you. That's why. You understand me? Lying. It's not a bad time for her. She doesn't need any space. She may be into her career, but what she was really saying is, get away from me now, or possibly try harder, stupid. But which one is it? 60% of human communication is nonverbal. Body language, 30% is in your tone. So that means that 90% of what you're saying ain't coming out your mouth. Of course she's going to lie to you. She's a nice person. She doesn't want to hurt your feelings. What else is she going to say? She doesn't even know you yet. Luckily, the fact is that just like the rest of us, even a beautiful woman doesn't know what she wants until she sees it, and that's where I come in. My job is to open her eyes. Basic principles, no matter what, no matter when, no matter who, any man has a chance to sweep any woman off her feet. He just needs the right broom. And as I can see in the chat mechanism, a lot of you are getting it right. Hitch. This is way to go. Good job. Hitch is the name of that movie. Hitch. Way to go. Okay. I'm going to give to you a very simple technique to attract a woman. This is from Tim Ferriss. Tim Ferriss, he's an entrepreneur, leads people into life success and all of that. And here's a script that he used to fight fear. Okay? This is something important that you have to know, men, that a woman finds a man attractive. Okay? The likelihood of her finding a man attractive is when he acts in confidence, expressing his attraction. There's actually research to suggest that just because a man expresses his attraction in a confident way to a woman, what she will do is that she will give it a consideration. It will actually incite her attraction, right? So Tim Ferriss, he uses this script, and what he'll do for a period of time in his life on a frequent basis, he would actually go to a mall and he would use this on a woman that he found to be attractive. He will go to a woman he found to be attractive. He would say, at a mall, a complete stranger, he would say, excuse me, I know this is going to sound strange, but if I don't ask you now, I'll be kicking myself for the rest of the day. I'm running to meet a friend, i.e. I have friends and I'm not a stalker, but I think you are really attractive. Can I have your phone number? I'm not a psycho, I promise. You can give me a fake one if you're not interested. Okay. And then bam, this is his way of fighting the fear of expressing attraction. Okay, so this is a script. Men, you can use this. It's a very simple technique to attract a woman. I would encourage you to use this to build your self-confidence and to break fear. One of the main reasons, and this is Emotional Intelligence 101, how do you incite confidence? You got to break fear. How do you break fear? Massive action. Massive action is how you break fear, and this is how we get breakthrough. Massive action. This is a script. I have a couple other scripts that I can give you all at the end. A very simple technique to attract a man. Okay, so women, say you're at a party, right? This is actually from Matthew Ossie. What he says is you want to position yourself in a high traffic area where you're going to run into a lot of people, and you want to position yourself for eye contact. It's important to create connection through eye contact and smile. Eye contact, smile, communicates a lot to a man, right? You want to have the mindset, this is key, have a mindset of the host. Okay, what's a host doing? A host is saying, hey, how's your night going? They take ownership of the party. They make sure that people feel welcome. They feel warm. They feel friendly. They're floating around, right? They're going to individuals. Women, you want to have the mindset of a host. You want to make sure that people are taking care of you. This is a great way to attract a particular guy. You want to avoid small talk, like crazy avoid small talk, right? Talk about things that you care about, what you're passionate about. You know, like for instance, I like the band Coldplay, right? And so talking with individuals, you know, I was listening to that song "Fix You" by Coldplay the other night. I just love it. Avoid talking about the weather and all that stupid stuff. It's just boring. Avoid small talk like the plague, and be the butterfly. Be the butterfly. You touch here, you touch there. You're going from place to place. You want to be the butterfly at the party. This is a great way to attract a guy, right? And it's also important, why are you at the party? You have a lifestyle. Create a rich, meaningful lifestyle. In other words, you're at the party in the first place, right? You want to communicate yourself with a sense of value. Be approachable. Be the type of person who says, I'd like to be with that person or hear what's going on with that person. You want to be approachable. And you got to take risk as well. And I got a script for you here coming up, women. Here's a script for you. This actually was a script. This is what a woman said to me a few years ago, and it was very appealing. And she said to me, hey, Ron, I really enjoyed talking with you the other day. I have a feeling in a different context we would be really good friends. I just want you to know, after our conversation, I grew in respect for you. And I was like, wow, I was not attracted to her, but because she said that, she said it with confidence, I gave her consideration. I gave her consideration because she said what she said with confidence. And I thought to myself, wow, I'm going to give her a second look, right? So both y'all, men and women, you got to take risk. How do you get change? How do you break fear to step into confidence? Massive action. Got to take massive action. The second phase is uncertainty. Okay, so you're attracted, you know, maybe you got into a place where both of you have expressed attraction to each other. Now you're going to go into a place of uncertainty and you're going to explore fit. This is the most difficult aspect of any relationship. Now you've gone, I would highly suggest being attracted to many people. You know, more than likely, if you're attracted to one person, you're in obsession. You think that you're in intimacy, but you're actually in just attraction. So you want to be attracted to many people, but in the uncertainty phase, you've both expressed attraction. Now you're trying to move from many to one. Oftentimes, for guys in particular, and girls actually, you get to a sense of grass is greener on the other side, right? And this is actually a fantasy, because when attraction, a lot of people think that they're in intimacy, but they're not in intimacy. They're just in attraction. So you create this fantasy world. And the fantasy is that you think that you're in intimacy and you create this obsession, right? Working through uncertainty, I encourage people, if they express attraction to each other, to explore the values, explore your desires for men, start to do little things for her and see how she reacts. This usually incites a man to get past this stage. But I encourage y'all, if you got to a place where you're attracted to each other, work through this uncertainty phase, because in the other end, it can be beautiful. Commitment. Yeah, we're both diving in. Number 3, the third aspect, the third phase in the 5 phases of dating relationship found in the Emotional Intelligence Dating Academy is commitment. Yeah, we're both diving in. This is from many to one. Again, the lie for men is I've won. Remember what I told you in the beginning about my story, is that I pursued this girl for over a year, and then we got to a place where we're in a committed relationship. But what did I do? I coasted. This is the lie. You have not won, men. This is actually just the beginning. It's the beginning of creating life experiences with each other, You want to create consistent life experiences with each other. It's massively important that you have a history of creating positive experiences with each other, because in the next phase of intimacy, things get a little haywire and you're going to need a foundation to lean on. It's important that you create life experiences with each other. Life, number one for women, I have to do. Listen, for men in particular, it's important that he gives and he creates these experiences and that the woman learn how to receive. Okay, that she learn how to receive, and when he does the little things for her, enjoy what he's doing for you, because men actually receive enjoyment when a woman receives really well. Okay, so in the commitment phase, when you're exclusive in a relationship, the lie for the men is you think you've won and you let things coast. This is where I screwed up in my previous relationship. And the lie for women is I have to pursue him. No, let him pursue you. In fact, if he stops pursuing you, the temptation is for you to give more. And actually women give into each other, give early sexually in this regard, and it reaps a lot of problems in relationship, especially if you're trying to develop a foundation for long term. So women, you don't have to do. Just let the man do the small things for you. Let him pursue you. Let him, he has not won you yet. Don't let him think that he's won. Okay. Intimacy is the fourth phase. And this, my friends, and this is what some people have said is euphoria. Okay. Where you share, that was some of the most enjoyable things on earth. This is where you share yourself with another person. You develop those life experiences. You develop trust. You can share not just the bad things, or not just the good things, but the bad things as well. And you've gotten to a place of, of like being fully accepted. Like that person fully accepts you. You fully accept them. This is what intimacy is what you want to create for a lifetime, right? And intimacy needs a foundation of trust. It needs a foundation of trust. Men putting your best foot forward, women putting your best foot forward by receiving well, right? And we're going to talk, I have these different levels of intimacy. This is absolutely beautiful when you can get to that place. And the last stage of a dating relationship is engagement. And you want to prepare for a lifetime of adventure. Okay, I'm going to go these, and these are the two most important phrases that you're going to need to learn in engagement is, will you forgive me? I'm sorry, and actually I wrote that wrong, but the second phrase is, I forgive you. You're forgiven, right? This is where you learn to take ownership of where you're wrong, so that you create a foundation of fluidity in a relationship where you're learning to fully serve and really appreciate the other person, and you're getting rid of your selfishness, right? In marriage, the four aspects that cause the most tension: family, what are you going to do with the in-laws? How many kids are you going to have? All that stuff. Finances, are you spenders? Are you savers? How do you organize your finances? Sex, frequency of sex, all of the components that previous history. How do you have that conversation about sex, and communication, right? In engagement, it's important that you dive into all four of these so that you're setting yourself up for a lifetime of success, a lifetime of adventure. If you can offset some of these potential disagreements in the beginning by coming to agreement off all four of these, y'all, I'm telling you, it will prevent marital difficulties in the future. It will prevent marital difficulties in the future. So there you go. 5 phases of dating are, let's recap. Let's go back to the 5 phases of dating. You have attraction, you have uncertainty, you have commitment, you have intimacy, and you have engagement. There it is. Those are the 5 stages of the dating relationship. Let's recap. What we've learned here in this webinar: you want to avoid, like the plague, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse: stonewalling, defensiveness, contempt, and criticism. Avoid those suckers. Get help if you engage in them or you're in a relationship in them. Number 2, acknowledge the 4 aspects of emotional intelligence as a pathway for an incredible, healthy relationship. Self-awareness, which is competence. Social awareness, which is empathy. Self-management, self-control, and social management influence, right? Those 4 suckers are going to, integrating those into the 5 aspects of dating is going to set you up for massive success. Number 3, a healthy development of a dating process: attraction, uncertainty, commitment, intimacy, and engagement. All 5 of those, we talked about those. A very simple technique to attract a woman. A very simple technique to attract a man. Okay, if you feel like this, like I have blasted you with a fire hose. Just write yes in the chat mechanism. Yes. Love it. I love some of these comments. You guys are giving me some great feedback. Thank you so much. We're having a blast here. So in a few moments, I'm going to give you access to the bonuses, and I want to say, have I delivered on my promise to make a webinar valuable, worth your time? Hopefully I have. We've covered a lot, but there's still so much more to learn. Do opposites attract? There's compatibility. How do I develop internal values that are going to last for the long haul in a relationship? Techniques on getting rid of lies and irrational thinking. That's huge. Self-awareness techniques not to let your emotions hijack your dating process. How to confidently feel uncertain in the uncertainty phase, right? How do you be confident? Especially when you're dealing with the variables of whether or not you want to be with the person. Knowing yourself and your values through the EQ and dating action diagram. You don't know about that. Techniques to increase self-awareness. The 7 pillars of a healthy relationship. Actually, those 7 pillars, y'all, are incredible. How to prevent sabotage in a relationship that has just entered commitment. Trust cycle versus mistrust cycle, establishing a pattern of health, life, and trust. 3 forms of communication. iMessages for communication and conflict. Multiple layers of chemistry, levels and dimensions of intimacy, the 4-fold movement of the forgiveness process, how to fuse a relationship together through hope. What is hope? The expectation that good things are coming. Most of the issues that I deal with in helping people in a relationship have to do with establishing hope. And I'm telling y'all, you can take action and there's hope. So I want you to picture someone successful, someone going after it, someone who's putting themselves out there to be successful in a dating relationship, and they are breaking the fear. They're stepping into confidence. They're using some of the scripts. They are putting themselves in a successful position. Now I want you to persist in someone who's struggling, someone who is just maybe entered into hopelessness. They're sitting behind their computer. They're hiding in their room. They're not putting themselves out there. What's the difference between these two? Is it a lack of opportunity? Or is it a lack of knowledge and support? Or is it both? Is it a lack of opportunity? Is it a lack of knowledge and support? Well, let me tell you about the opportunity for dating relationship. There are 124.6 million single people in the United States. 40 million Americans are using online dating services. Major media sources are saying that there is literally dating opportunities for every interest group out there. Now, is it a lack of opportunity? And then is there a lack of knowledge and support? Well, would you like me to help you with your dating life and in the development of emotional intelligence in dating? I know you can do this. You know you can do this, but you just need some guidance. We all need guidance. Remember earlier what I said. I needed guidance because I'm 37 years old. It took me a minute to figure some things out, right? Why you showed up today? You're trying to figure out how to date on your own, or it's just not working for you. You want to spend more time putting into practice your EQ dating skills and just figuring all the stuff out. That might be why you showed up today. Deep down, you know you have the ability to learn relationship skills and become a master at relationship, creating a life of deep romantic love for you and the partner of for your future. Right? You know you have this, and it's a skill. Skills can be learned. I want you to meet Jack and Melody. Don't worry, they don't exist. They're not real. They're fictional. I made them up. And they didn't have guidance or instruction in this area of life. They didn't have a mentor. They didn't have parents or family members that modeled for them how to do relationship well. What if Jack and Melody never thought these lessons provided in this incredible system to walk them through a community to reach a result where Jack and Melanie became emotionally intelligent and dating. What if they had a system for it, right? What if they had a system to become emotionally intelligent and dating? What if Jack and Melanie had a step-by-step system leading them on how to become emotionally intelligent and dating? Well, I want to welcome you to Emotional Intelligence and Dating Academy. Here it is. This is a screenshot of the dashboard of the Emotional Intelligence and Dating Academy. This is a complete A to Z system that teaches you how to exercise emotional intelligence as you move through the 5 stages of a dating relationship. In other words, we're teaching you how to be a really great lover. Join 300, because that's all we're taking, 300 individuals beginning the journey Monday, October 10th, right? We are taking only 300 individuals beginning the journey Monday, October. Following this system doesn't turn you into a robot with no personality dating, but rather it helps you become a better, more aware version of yourself, allowing you to then attract the person that is perfect for you. Here's what you get. You get access, actually it should say 40 on there, it says 49. We've condensed some of the videos. Access to all 40 video lessons, 14 different scripts for men and women to attract some. Remember the scripts that we talked about in the attraction phase? 3 bonus PDFs and a fast action bonus, all the top level materials that high level dating coaches use for coaching clients. That one's pretty key. Basically what I'm doing is I'm giving you an outline of all of the books that top level dating coaches use to get their clients into a healthy place. Access to a private Facebook group, 8 case studies of men and women who are going through all 5 stages of the dating relationship, emotional intelligence and dating, right? So 8 case studies of people who are successful at it, who made changes, who took massive action, right? Weekly Q&A sessions at the end of each module. So we have 7 modulars. At the end of each module, we'll have a Q&A session on a webinar like this where you can ask me any question you want. A step-by-step video training. This is the #1 step-by-step video training module, 7 modules, 40 video teachings. What does the course cover? It has a step-by-step video teaching, access to break fear, step into confidence, plus much more. The value of the training course is about $2 grand. The value of the private community, people tell me it's worth $1,000 just to be able to ask questions. The private community is a place to ask your burning questions and find support through others. A roadmap to what intimacy looks like in a relationship long term. Learn the 5 phases of the dating relationship as it relates to EQ. Have a detailed plan to create deep levels of connection. A place to ask your burning questions in community support. Exercises exercises to increase what experts consider to be the supreme skill in all areas of life, which is emotional intelligence, and much more. Here's what you get: the plan, support, EQ, the video training course, the Facebook group, the private group. We want to make sure that you have everything you need to succeed on your dating journey. When you get ready to make your first approach, wouldn't it be great to look through the scripts as I mean to overcome fear, or just say, hey, y'all, to the private Facebook group, I'm going for it today, and we're going to celebrate, we're going to cheer you on. When you get stuck in your dating journey, wouldn't it be great to have a group of people to support you? Hey, I'm stuck. I need to do something. Here's everybody else's techniques to get you on to the place where you need to go. As you move through the dating process, wouldn't it be helpful to know that what you're feeling is normal? A lot of us think that what we're feeling is abnormal. What you're feeling is normal, and what to look for as you move toward engagement, a lifelong journey of adventure. At any stage of the dating process, wouldn't it be helpful to see others who have done it and be able to learn from them? Bonus #1, the 14 different scripts for men and women in the attraction stage. Live group, bonus #2, live group Q&A calls. Bonus #3, top level dating coaching material. Basically getting the material that top level dating coaches use to teach their clients. 8 case studies of men and women who have gone through all 5 stages of dating. And here's what you get. You get the video courses, the Facebook group, the bonuses, nearly $4,500 in value, and that's a lot. There are top-level dating courses charging $4,000, $5,000, $7,000 for their courses. And by the way, they don't have 7 modules, right? The full Emotional Intelligence Dating Academy one-time payment is $14.97, right? $14.97. But wait a minute. You're on this webinar, and because you're on this webinar, I've decided to give a webinar deal, right? And on the webinar deal, you're not going to pay $14.97. We are taking $13.60 off, and we're only charging $137 for the academy. Now, this is crazy. I've had some of these guys that have coached me in the industry say, Ryan, way too cheap, man. Way too cheap. And I'm just telling you, this is the webinar deal that I'm giving to you. It's $137. So, special webinar bonus. If you purchase this webinar in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to send you a teaching on how an online dating coach gets his clients dates consistently and frequently. It's an online dating hack. This hack is amazing because a lot of people expect the first date to create connection. And usually first dates on online dating suck. They're just horrible because they get it all screwed up. This guy that I got this material from teaches people how to have great first dates and teaches people how to do it consistently and frequently. He actually did it over 300 times. He was horrible at dating, but he learned this process over online dating over 300 different people because he just screwed it up. Plus, plus you get the bonuses. It's lifetime access. It's going away soon. All resources are downloadable, PDFs, transcript videos, and MP3s. You get quality support, right? We got a team of people to support back you up. Let me take away all the risk for you, and I'm just taking it all away. I want you to have this great material. There's a 30-day, 100% money-back guarantee. If you do all the work and don't get the results, I don't want your money. All the risk is on me. If you do all this work, take all the videos, get all the support, get all the results, and you don't get what you want, I don't want your money. All the risk is on me. 30 days after it starts in mid-October, if you don't like it, ask for your money back and I'll give it to you. Y'all, I really feel like this information will set people up for success, and it does it without that sleazy crap. It does it without manipulation. I just want people to have really great information, y'all. So if you're ready to join, what I want you to do is click the link to the right. I'm going to put it in the chat mechanism. Some of you already see it. We might create a link, and it might be down below a little bit later. But if you're ready to join, just click the link to the right of this video or type in www.youreqlife.com/join, www.youreqlife.com/join. The link should be in the right. Yes, some of you see it there. You are starting to click away already. Wow. We got people jumping on already. It's pretty cool. How to join. So when you click that link, you're going to see this. It's Emotional Intelligence Dating Academy. You're going to see your contact information, your billing information, and you're going to purchase the online the Emotional Intelligence and Dating Academy. You're going to see it there. Why should you invest in Emotional Intelligence Dating Academy? The price will be increasing. That's why. You will never be able to join the academy for a lower price than what you're going to pay today. $13.60 off, a discount off. Plus the webinar only bonuses will be disappearing in a few minutes. The 30-day 100% money back guarantee. You have zero risk. Listen, y'all, I just want you to make the decision because I want you to have great information that's going to set you up for success. I believe in this. I believe in this course. I think that's going to make substantial changes in your life. Is Emotional Intelligence and Dating Academy right for you? Emotional Intelligence and Dating Academy is not for you if you do not think that you will have to do any work. Listen, you're going to have to do work, y'all. You're not going to learn this overnight. You're not going to be emotionally intelligent after one webinar. It's just not going to happen. You think it's not for you if you think that you should be committed to 5 to 10 people at the same time. I don't want players involved. If I find that you're playing people and you're involved in our Facebook group, I'll kick you out in a heartbeat. I don't play that game. You think that you're going to be automatically, it's not for you if you think that you're going to be automatically become emotionally intelligent tomorrow by signing up. It's not for you if you're an arrogant jerk face looking for sleazy tricks. I don't do that. I'm long-term, y'all. Long-term gets people to intimacy. Long-term. If you want flings, you're going to be empty. There's research to back it up. If you want flings, you're going to be empty. EQ in dating is perfect for you if you desire a step-by-step system that will walk you through becoming emotionally intelligent through the 5 stages of a dating relationship. It's perfect for you if you need a new plan to approach your dating life. It's perfect for you if you need support and accountability to pursue all the opportunity. It's perfect for you if you want the word-for-word dating scripts that others have used to break fear and increase your confidence in your dating process, right? With the incredible low price that we're offering you today, it's roughly the same cost of 1 month of health insurance. Actually, some people are saying it's a lot less. $137 is a lot less than I pay for 1 month of health insurance. And if you don't like it or you don't get the results that you're looking for, we'll return your money. As I said, that 30-day money-back guarantee. At this point in your dating life, what you have 2 options. You can settle for what you have now, keep doing what you're been doing, and get the same results that you've been getting. Or 2, make a small investment and give it a shot. If it works, great. If not, get your money back, right? You're ready to join. Just click the link to the right of this video or below. YourEQDatingLive.com/join, YourEQLife.com/join. Click these links and we'll set you up. You got a couple more. Awesome. There's the website again. I'll leave that up. Do y'all want me to leave that up? I'm going to go into the Q&A here in a second. Do you want me to leave that up? Give me yes or yeah. Okay. Some of you want me to leave it up. Awesome. So here it is. Here's the website. I'm going to go into Q&A. I'm going to leave that up. I'm going to leave the website up just in case. But I just wanted to answer a few questions. And I have my awesome individual that has been gathering questions for me. And we are going to, we're going to try to answer some of those questions that you all have been, answer some of those questions. Sorry, I wasn't talking into the mic. We're going to answer some of those questions that have been fired away. This is from Jill from the East Coast. What if I have, okay, yeah, this is a good question. So with the Gottman, so basically the question is, what if I've experienced just like 2 of the 4 of the Gottman in a relationship? Is my relationship in jeopardy? Here's what the research says about John Gottman. John Gottman's 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Basically, if he saw all 4 of those within the context of 1 hour of spending with a couple, he knew that the relationship was doomed. Now, do we have those moments where we get defensive? Absolutely, right? Do we, we can go back and own those moments. Do we have moments where we're criticized, that we engage in, in some level of stonewalling. If there are these moments in life, your relationship's not in jeopardy. You just need some techniques to help you get through that stuff, right? You probably need some communication help. That's honestly what's going on. Most of all, this can be handled with communication help. If you experience a few of those, Jill, I wouldn't need to be worried. If you experience all 4 of these together frequently, that's when I'd be worried. That's when I would pursue some help, some serious help. So that is a great, great question. Let's see here. I found in previous relationships that some of the 5 phases overlap. Is this normal? Yep. And you'll start to engage intimacy in a place of commitment. And yes, that definitely happens where you start to have places of intimacy when you're in a commitment. Or you may even know the person early on, you're attracted to them, but you're actually in uncertainty before expressing attraction. So yeah, it's not a hard and fast. These are just 5 phases to help people to think. These are not rules. These are guidelines, right? Anybody who slaps rules on relationships are just into a bunch of legalistic, and they're just stale, right? These are guidelines, not rules. We want fluidity. So that's a great question too. How many weeks is the Academy and when does it start? It starts mid-October. And we are looking at, let me get you the exact dates. It starts October 10th, I believe, and that's what I wrote down, October 10th. And so, yeah, that's when it starts. And some of you want to see the Academy. Let's actually just show you the Academy here. I'm going to do this, do that. You see me, you see my beautiful face. Look at my beautiful face. I'm going to get the Academy open for you. And okay. I'll share the screen again. Okay. And I'm going to, sorry, you see all that. I'm going to get over to the Academy here. There it is. The Emotional Intelligence Dating Academy. There it is. These are the different modules. The intro, the attraction phase. We've broken down the Academy into all 5 phases, and then we have an intro and a conclusion to all of these. But yeah, this is the Academy. This is what it looks like. It's 7 weeks, and it's for anybody who is who is it for? It's for anybody looking for a relationship. Some people love to take it while they're in a relationship. Some actually engaged couples like to go back and kind of rework the 5 stages together. And there's tons of information of integrating the 4 quadrants of emotional intelligence, the four main values of emotional intelligence in the 5 phases. That's what we do in the Academy. There is, I'm going to stop now, and you can see my beautiful face. I think you can see my face now. Yeah, so there it is. The other questions, actually 4 quadrants right there. Bam, bam, bam. And last question is, someone just asked, or my moderator just gathered the question is, am I finding success? Man, y'all, I had some people just tell me, I wish I would have learned this a long time ago. I wish I would have learned this a long time ago. So, hey, I'm 37. I've made mistakes, and it took me a while to figure some things out. And so I want to help you with the learning curve. That's something that you want. Awesome. We'd love to help you out. And again, I think the links are over there to the right and they're underneath. But that link, www.youreqlife.com/join, would be the link if you want to get that Academy. And do it in the next 15 minutes. I'm going to send you those bonuses. And I just want you to get ready. Get ready for what's going on in mid-October, October 10th. And we are going to rock the house out. That's 5 questions. We're just about an hour. I think we maybe crossed over an hour a little bit. I think that worked really, really well. So I just want to speak, because words are powerful. I just want to speak success over you, success over relationships around you, success in your business, your romantic world, your family life, success all around. I'm going to let you all be. Thank you for those comments. Thank you for those comments. You guys are great. Have a great, really hoping that hour is worth your time. But I'm going to let you all be. Take care.